Strike a pose, there's nothing to it. Chardonnay. Dun, 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 dun. Guillot-Broux. Maison Guillot-Broux. Not Guillot-Broux. More like Guillot-Broux. That's not B-R-O-U-X. It's brew. Kinda. That's French for today. Great story here. Attention. Do I have your attention? Blah! There, you have attention? Good. Here's the story. The Guillot family, classic domain in the Mâconnais, longtime family. The brothers Patrice and Emmanuel took over the domain in 2008. They are considered one of the Ne Plus Ultra estates in the Mâconnais. The brothers have an enviable series of holdings in the Mâconnais and Cruzel and some of these other areas. They make fabulous wines. Go look up the William Kelly scores in Wine Advocate and the scores from Neil Martin and Venice Media, et cetera, et cetera. It is a rock star domain in the Mâconnais of the highest order. The brothers make terrific age-worthy wines that are pricey for the Mâconnais, but worth every penny in the context that, okay, they're selling a Mâconnais for like $50, but it's equivalent to $90 or $100 wines from the Côte de Beaune proper, right? Easy. Got it? Good. Now, starting in 2014, the brothers saw the writing on the wall. Climate change was starting to have an impact on their business. Yields were fluctuating, things were happening, situations were changing. There was hail, there was frost, and the boys got ahead of it. They started what they call a negociant operation, but like a micro negociant operation, working only with organic growers with full control of the fruit. They call this Maison Guillot-Broux because it can't be a domain because they don't own the grapes. So Maison Guillot-Broux fired up in 2014, and they started producing a small set of negociant wines, particularly in years that were down. They didn't do it, the quantities varied based on the amount of wine that they felt they needed or felt compelled to produce every year. Now, starting in 2021, they had a unique situation take place. If you remember, 2021 was a miserable vintage, a miserly vintage, huge frost, short vintage, not a lot of grapes. But, see, here's the deal. They got these fancy Tonnellerie de Mercure barrels. These are nice barrels, right? So when you're in the Mâconnais and you don't make a ton of money off your wine, relatively speaking, you want to stretch those barrels out. You want to make those barrels last. Now, one of the things you absolutely cannot do is leave your barrels empty. They always need something in them. Now, some people put water in them, but preferably you want wine in your barrels all the time. Crazy, right? 2021, huge hail or frost, not enough wine to fill all their barrels. So what'd they do? He called a buddy. One of the brothers called a buddy down in the Languedoc that had a fabulous old vine Chardonnay vineyard planted on pure limestone. And he said, you know what? You know, the hits hit the shan this year, and we are going to buy Chardonnay from you. You vinify it down there, just a base. Just do the basic fermentation down there. Bring the juice up. We're going to put it in our barrels and finish it in our barrels, probably aging on the lees of our kick-ass Mâconnais wines. And the guy's like, yeah, let's do it. So they did it. They did the deal. They got the fruit. They got it in the barrels. Voila. They were like, the brothers looked at each other like, you taste this? The guy's like, yeah, you taste this? Yeah. You taste this? Yeah. And they're both like, damn, this is good. Really good. So they began this process of making a fabulous Maison Guillot-Broux Chardonnay. Technically, the appellation is Vin de France, VDF. But it does come from the Languedoc, from a fabulous, like I said, old vine, 30-plus-year-old vines on limestone vineyard. The wine's made at their winery in their barrels. That's the whole point, right? But nowadays, in some vintages, now they don't even need to top up in some years. Now they're just making it because the quality was so good that they were like, we got to do this every year. And voila, here you have it. This is the 2023 Maison Guillot-Broux Chardonnay, a vintage where, quite frankly, they probably didn't have to make this wine because 2023 was a hugely abundant vintage in Burgundy, one of the highest crops ever. And everybody wanted that after the horrifically low 2021 vintage, a decent 2022 vintage, but 23 they were like, yes, please. So there was already a ton of wine at the winery. That wasn't an issue. The issue here was, this wine's effing great. We're going to make it again. The vines in the Languedoc are only getting older. We're only getting smarter with how we vinify the wine in our barrels. And why the hell shouldn't we? And valid point. Why the hell shouldn't they? When you're one of the best producers of Chardonnay in the Mâconnais, and you're handed some really great grapes at a really great price, yeah, you should. So this is 2023. Having a look at it. I had this wine once, but that was enough for us to do the deal I'm going to tell you about at the end. I like this wine. And actually for a little different reason than I like some of the other, which I love the Guillot-Broux wines. They're super good. But those wines can sometimes be extremely tense. You know, what the French would call like nervosité, like Cornholio. And this wine, it releases a little of that tension, delivers a little easier glass of Chardonnay from these two very talented brothers. It has a lot of the mineral character. That limestone really infuses this wine with a mineral character, but it's not a classically Burgundy mineral character. It's mineral, and there's some florals here, almost like baby Pullini. And we've seen this character as well in a couple other wines we've done with this fashion. The Lecan Chardonnay, that producer in Santenay, that does the same thing. And also, if some of you are familiar with that Boyer de Bar wine, right? Remember the one with the purple top from Boyer Martineau, that fabulous grower in Merceau. The Guillot brothers have essentially done the same thing with this program with great success. This is such a lovely wine, aged all in older Tonneau Louis de Mercury barrels on the lees of some really great Chardonnay. And an absolute delight. Yummy. Yummy. But not fat, not buttery, not lean, just right. Just right. I love just right Chardonnay. It makes you want to drink a lot of it. I could drink a lot of this. Now, here's the best part. They're parting ways with their current importer. And because they're parting ways, the importer was like, move it on out. So we get to hit you with this $30 retail gorgeous Chardonnay made by one of the most talented winemakers in Burgundy for half price, $14.98. $15 for this bottle of Chardonnay is really something else indeed. This is a really tasty, gorgeous bottle of French Chardonnay for the money. Only downside, about 30 boxes, and that is it. So we took everything they had, no mas, this is it. One shot, that's all we got. If you love it, well, you're gonna love it. Go ahead and click down below and buy some of this. If this sounds good to you like it did to me, then yeah, click down below, buy some of this beautiful wine. Like and subscribe. Are we up to 10,010 subscribers yet?
I think so.
Yahtzee!